will get donated to part of your money will get donated to this cause.
Yeah.
I don't know any other retailer doing that.
No, and we can also, as an affiliate promoting or selling, an associate. They're not affiliate. We're not affiliates. We're associates. We can say that our commissions can go to those causes.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's cool. So in other words, I can make $100 in commissions off of Amazon, and the whole $100 goes to the charity. That's really cool.
Mhm.
I do agree. That is cool. Hey, everybody's coming in. There's Nigel. How you doing, Nigel? Nigel's muted.
I'm muted.
There you go, Nigel.
Thanks.
I didn't get a chance to get back to you. I was kind of away. We have Carl. How you doing, Carl?
Doing good, guys.
Okay, Carl. Do I know you?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Okay, cool. So you're inside the Mardoc Skype group.
I'm here with Nigel.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah. Nigel has a program I want to talk about, but I was busy with servers today and website stuff, so I wasn't able really to talk with Nigel, and it was kind of a last minute thing. But before we do that, hey everybody, my name is Nelson Buck, and this is the Mardoc's Daily Live Chat. We do this show every day, Monday through Friday, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or noon Pacific, and if you're in the UK, line up with Berlin time at 9 p.m. Berlin time. So with that said, if you're on YouTube watching this, please subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know what you think. If you're watching us live on Twitch.tv, make sure to follow us. If you want, you can sub to our channel. Really cool things there. And yeah, Nigel, why don't we jump right into it and say what you have to offer? Because I only got a little glimpse of what you have to offer the other day.
Yeah, sometimes a little glimpse is enough. It's rather immediately outstanding, if I may say so.
Right.
In today's economic conditions, and thank you very much, Nelson, for this invite. Absolutely, and could even call. I'm in from London. You're in Quebec, aren't you, Nelson?
That's right. Myself, my Danny's in Quebec, also Lauren's in Florida. I have no idea where Carl's at.
I'm in Edmonton.
Alberta. How's the weather right now?
It's a little bit warmer today, thank goodness.
You guys got a hell of a snowstorm recently, right?
A scoop.
Say it again. Oh, is that all? A foot? Oh, nothing there. It's only 30 centimeters. I got one, maybe two, and that was with the winds blowing into a drift. Oh, geez. No, I'm actually lucky. The last two little snowstorms we had were 1-2 centimeters. Like last night we had a centimeter. I didn't go out to shovel any of it, just because it's melting the same day. But like last night's snowfall, if it was going to be cold for 3 days straight, I would have had to have gone out and cleaned that. But hey, it's melting. Don't touch it. You know. So Carl, how do you know Nigel? Say that again, Carl. It was some. Oh, okay. So you're his upline. If we're safe to say, can we say upline in this program? Okay. Okay.
Um, I guess I should jump into it. I
Yeah,
don't know what.
yeah. Go ahead. Start right back at the beginning because and the reason why we're talking about this because you're related to something like Bitcoin here, right?
Certainly, there's three elements, and cryptocurrency is one of them. I'll
Yeah.
repeat what I had said to yourself, and thank you so much for your interest. What it is, in today's economic conditions, you need to be able to build wealth while managing the risk as you do so. And why have 300,000 members chosen this new company over the past few months? 300,000. One reason, 100% rebate they receive on startup cost, and the fact that it increases in value until it is cashed in. Members can choose to remain passive and profit. Also, we currently have top trending e-commerce, software, and cryptocurrency products, which members can sell with additional products coming soon. And our members need not first purchase these items in order to profit from selling them, rarely permitted in the industry, as many of you would know. Now, there are numerous entry-level points to suit all budgets, and maybe we can demonstrate why we're poised to impact the lives of hundreds of thousands of people worldwide in the coming months. We just went into Nigeria, for example, 10,000 people joining immediately and 100,000 waiting in the wings. There will be an element of CNN, Fox News, television all over this, and we can give access info for those who might want to stay.
You're not dealing in Bitcoin, though, are you?
What did you say?
You're not dealing with Bitcoin, are you?
No, I feel it's a ship that has sailed to some degree. I mean, it would have to double the $14,000 right now. I mean, if you and I put in $1,000, it has to go that far. And what have we done? We've doubled our money. It's not all that exciting.
Bitcoin just went the other direction. It went from 14,000 to 7,000.
Yeah,
so it just
dropped
half its value and crashed overnight, basically, within the last few weeks.
I for one, Carl here will tell you his Bitcoin acquisition in the past. It was off the charts, but I for one have moved Bitcoin into this particular development. Never seen, as I say, 100% rebate. I'll let Carl come in. Do you feel comfortable coming in?
While we're talking, do you guys have a website I can put up on the screen to show people who are watching?
That might. We have a link to a funnel which takes people to an 8-minute video. A 3-minute, an 8-minute, and then the TV commercials. I can give you that one link, but if we mix the two, I'm not sure that's best medicine.
Oh, okay, no problem. It's what you want to do. It's your
Thanks for offering.
Yeah, it's your ship. I don't want to mess anything up. Okay, Carl. So go ahead, unmute yourself and inform us as to what your point is on this.
Okay. Well, basically, I'm kind of when it comes to Bitcoin, I've kind of seen that as kind of a ship that's sailed. It's always going to be there. Let's get that straight, because it's the pioneer of the crypto industry. But my personal experience with Bitcoin, 2009, I bought 37,000 of them, right?
Right.
And thinking that there was something here. I'm an IT guy, so I looked at what this new crypto age was starting, and because it had really bad publicity in 2009, I opted to get rid of it. So I got rid of my Bitcoin. I bought it at 4 cents a coin in 2009, sold them in early 2010 for about 27 cents a coin. So thought I'd made a pretty good profit at that point, not realizing that it'd be about $300 million today had I kept it, right? But I have my unique story works in kind of explaining today, because right now, Bitcoin was the one that was the one to watch in 2017. Okay, 2018 is actually the year of the altcoin. Okay, alternative coins, and that's the direction that I've gone in. I mean, me personally, I'm very selective on coins that I go out there and collect and hold, and I do it based on what the companies out there, what their white papers are all about, what their coins, with the intention of what those coins are supposed to do, right? The one particular coin, can I mention the coin that we're involved in?
Yeah, sure. Right?
Okay, so the one coin that our program is built around is called ProCurrency. Okay. Yeah. And ProCurrency, they came out in April of last year, and we're basically building an economic structure around this. We're not like any kind of regular multi-level marketing kind of company out there. We're a lot more than that. Even though we've got a multi-tiered direct sale platform, we also have multitude of platforms that we're tapping into. I mean, We're mostly about the online shopping, okay? Building Shopify stores, Amazon stores, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
We sell the education and the training on how to build those stores. But the uniqueness of our program is that every training product that we sell, we have 100% match of what we call Pro Rewards points. These points can be redeemed for Pro Currency, okay? So 1 point per Pro Currency. So in essence, we're actually giving you 100% of your money back in Pro Currency just for, taking the chance on us and coming in and learning our products. So now the other part of our program is we got different platforms. We're launching the very first crypto mall, which is you can only buy the products with Pro Currency on that mall. Okay. So you can't use Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of that kind of stuff. It's strictly solely for Pro Currency. We have a guy by the name of Kevin Harrington. Some people may know him, may not know him. He's actually the creator of As Seen on TV, the creator of the infomercial. This is a guy who's partnered with our company. Can I say the name or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, iPro Network is the name of the company. So he's partnered with us to actually build those relationships for businesses to come in and be a part of our platforms. So he's actually the face of Pro Currency. He's working in a partnership with Pro Currency to build the Pro Currency brand, right? So he's also working with us to build, because he's building all the relationships with all the businesses to participate in our mall, participate in a new app platform coming out called Edge Club that allows brick and mortars from around the world to participate in this as long as they're willing to accept a minimum of 20% Pro Currency. Right. So, and it's all geo-targeted. So you could go to Montreal, Quebec and type in Montreal and it'll tell you all the businesses in the Montreal area that's actually accepting Pro Currency for payment. And it'll also do even more than that. It'll actually go in if it's a targeted niche, let's say dog food or something, and you got 5 different dog food companies where it'll tell you which one is offering the best deal
right
on that as well. So it's really geo-targeted.
And it's funny that you're saying dog food, because I'm the kind of person that will go out and spend, if necessary, 5 times the amount that Costco is selling on dog food if I know that dog food is good for my dog, whereas the cheapest is like feeding your dog McDonald's all the time,
Yeah.
And so dog food might not be a good example. A lot of people look at the dog food as high quality, Cat litter,
pet store.
Yeah, cat litter might be better,
Maybe I should have said pet store.
Yeah.
But it's quite unique.
Yeah.
In the entire model. We're tapping into all of the top trends.
Yeah.
Okay. Online shopping is a big trend right now because of all the brick and mortars that are slowly going down. They're losing all their volume to online stores.
Yeah, but they're losing it to systems that have...
Sorry, what was that, Joshua?
I said, but they're losing it to systems that have major supply chain management infrastructures like Amazon and places like that. I mean, that's why they call it the Amazon effect here.
Well, let me key in on that.
Now on Amazon, are y'all delivering 2 days free shipping for everything you do?
Well, here's something that's very unique about our platform too. The vendor
platform is regardless. They have to have the shipping infrastructure.
Josh, let him speak. You just cut him off. Go ahead, Carl.
The vendors coming into our platforms, a lot of them are some of the same vendors that are on Amazon. But here's the one thing that is going to make our mall so successful is that the majority of our products are the same kind of products you find on Amazon, but buying them with Pro Currency, they're up to 30% cheaper.
Now, let's say a website like Mardox.com is a membership site. Could I come on board and offer my service with Pro Currency?
Yes. You can become a part of our platform. So you can apply for that as long as you're willing to accept Pro Currency. Any business that's out there, any business model can come in and participate as long as they're willing to accept a minimum of 20% Pro Currency for payment of any goods and services.
So the business has to apply. Yep. And get accepted, as opposed to every other cryptocurrency where they just get the API and embed it and they're done.
Well, they can do that. Here's the difference: that with our app, it's going to be a free downloadable app, and you'll get free advertisement on our platform. Whereas you would have to do your own advertisement if you went out and did the API system. Okay, so there's a lot of benefits.
Okay, so applying is like you're applying to the Yellow Pages and you're getting business for it.
Exactly.
Essentially,
You're getting that free advertisement from our entire database.
Right. So whereas Bitcoin, you're holding you're holding your wallet open. You're going anybody.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's not that hard to apply. I mean, it's a very simple process to apply for it. We're pretty much not saying no to anybody as long as it's a legitimate business.
Right.
So as long as and we all
know that Mardocs.com is a complete and total scam, right?
Yeah.
It's funny that you guys are on here. I've got people now lining up to say, can I get on board and talk about your show, talk about our product, and I got to review these products before I can even have somebody come on. Nigel, how long ago was it you told me about it, and up to today, how long has it been? About 2 weeks?
It seems less than a week, indeed.
Let's say about a weekish, and it takes a good 3-4 days to investigate the sites and do some background review. I don't want to have somebody come on here and find out it's a complete and utter scam, and then go, oh no, I endorsed it.
Amazon are indeed giving reward back in pro currency already, and Alibaba are in the wings. What do you have? And by the way, that Kevin Harrington, this is the same gentleman, the infomercial fellow, etc. That's of Shark Tank, by the way.
Yeah. And that was actually one of the impressive points, that somebody like that is endorsing this.
Yeah, and it's even more. I mean, Kevin Harrington is really building the brand of pro currency out there. There's a company called Single Point that's out there, whether you've heard of them or not. Single Point is basically the merchanting system for the cannabis industry. So they deal with all the dispensaries and all that kind of stuff that's out there. And they're about to launch a cash currency exchange, like Zappo or Coinbase or something. And pro currency is going to be one of the primary currencies on there that you can buy on there, right?
It'll be the GoDaddy of
right now. They have another cryptocurrency for the pot industry called Potcoin.
Yeah,
Potcoin. Yeah. I actually own a bunch of that.
There you go.
And I bought it because I know exactly what that coin's going to do. I mean, it may take a while.
It's going to crash massively once the government decides to go after them, because it's illegal. It's still illegal under federal law here.
Yeah.
Well, in some state, like some countries, some states and stuff like that. I mean, up here in Canada, I mean, we're going completely legal right across sometime this summer. July 1st is supposed to be the date, but it'll be summer.
Because the Canadian mentality around drugs is, you do what you want with your body. It's your body. Do what you want, as long as you don't affect other people around you. Just like alcohol. You drink as much as you want to drink, but if
trying to go even worse, they're trying to say, if you deal drugs, we'll arrest you for murder if the person dies.
But hold on now. The Canadians.
That's up here too.
That's what they're going after now.
Cannabis at this
This is the first time in our history that they've done that now.
But I gotta understand that here in Canada, if you're selling the drugs, that's not right. You're allowed to use it and consume it, not sell it. Selling, you're still gonna have to go to an authorized seller.
No. I mean, here, if you sell drugs, you can actually be charged with murder.
Oh, here too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which has never happened in the States until recently.
Yeah, that's it. So that's why you have to be an authorized seller when all those goes legal across the board. Because they're not just talking about cannabis across. They're talking cocaine. They're talking LSD.
Well, the problem though is that basically what he just said would put any American business in the crosshairs of getting arrested, which would throw me out of the door right there. Because if they're going to get involved in the cannabis industry, even in for the whatever coin he's talking about, the government went after some Bitcoin operators because they were involved with Silk Road, solely based on the fact that it was funneling drug money.
Yeah, and for the record,
hang on a second. You gotta remember, this is only in the states that are legal.
I know that, but you got to understand, it's not legal in any state here.
Well, it has to be, because you gotta remember.
State law is there's
dispensaries there, so people got to go to dispensaries and buy them, and if they're legal in that state, then it's legal for them to sell it.
Yeah, you're right.
Some of those dispensaries, though, what you're not understanding though is some of those dispensaries here in the States are being raided by federal law enforcement because they're illegal by federal law.
Yeah. The states are
still illegal here in the
maybe a little bit different down there than up here.
It's because the states are saying it's okay, but the federal government has not yet ever said yes, it's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like when British Columbia accepted marijuana, but the Canadian government never okayed it. So if an RCMP agent pulled you over and you had cannabis in your car, you were arrested. But if a British Columbia provincial police pulled you over, it was no problem. So we had the same problem, and we got the same. That's why Canadian government's saying that it's going to be drugs going to be allowed across the border.
Yeah.
Which drugs that it's going to be destroyed.
Well, they're going to regulate.
But let's get back to the coin topic, because we know that drugs and political it gets real touchy.
Nelson, how much time do we have?
Well, we usually do the show for an hour. It could go for 2. It doesn't really matter. It's
okay.
as long as
take
it's
too much time and let Nigel talk.
Yeah.
But,
maybe we should mention Scott Warren at this juncture. But
well, I mean, we've got a real top quality compliance officer, Scott Warren, with us. He deals, not only with our industry, but he deals with the SEC. He deals with the governments and cross-border legalities and compliance. For other things, he works with the government as well. So he's one of the top attorneys in the compliance arena. Right. So the other thing I want you to know about this company right now, they're 15 months old. Okay.
Our attorney was the point.
Yeah. The company is 15 months old, going on 16 months old. Okay. We've already purchased 3 companies that are out there. We bought them out. We've integrated their databases into our databases. We've got their legal teams working with us now. And most importantly, their distribution centers. So we got distribution centers on 5 continents. Now we've done this in 15, 16 months, where there's companies around that have been around here for 10, 20 years that don't have distribution on that many continents.
It took Amway 20 years just to get started.
We're way ahead of these guys have a 5, 10, 20-year plan that's in place here. But that's because we're not really, in my personal eyes, a network marketing company. Now, here's some background on me, guys. I've been involved in network marketing since 1980. I'm in my 37th year in this business. There isn't much I haven't seen as far as any kind of type of product or niche in our area. So I've been around, and I've seen a lot of stuff grow, and I've also seen a lot of businesses fail in here, and that's because they all rely on one particular product line to make them successful, whereas this company here is actually expanding into multiple different niches. Right now, like I said, we're in the online shopping. We've just expanded into trading. So we've got our own trading software, our own trading training on how to use software and do trading. We're about to open up into the e-gaming industry. Okay, we're going to be tapping into the travel, and all of this will incorporate ProCurrency into the model.
So that if you have ProCurrency, you're going to be able to go, for example, I'm just going to say a name. I'm not saying they're going to be part of it, but WestJet, and say I want to pay with my ProCurrency, and they'll take it.
As long as we brokered the deal with them to have them accept whatever amount, they will accept it. That goes for hotels and excursions, everything, right? That's related to that. Same thing with the e-gaming. Now, e-gaming extends quite a bit in here, from to online gambling, to MMO gaming, like World of Warcraft, that kind of stuff. All these kind of different ones. As long as they're, as long as we broker the deal with them, they'll accept it. Online apps through like Facebook, that sort of stuff. The entire gaming industry we're tapping into.
I got a question. I got a question from a user, if you don't mind. Can we ask it?
Sure.
From Liquid Aluminum is his name. That's actually a really cool name. I like that, Liquid Aluminum. How does your crypto? No, no, it's not Paprika Pro. No, how does your cryptocurrency start by making its money? And I'm assuming he's talking like Bitcoin, where you have to use the Bitcoin miners, and a lot of people are against that right now.
There's different ways. Okay, let's go back and just talk about Bitcoin, how it did it. Okay, so Bitcoin started in 2009, and basically they had to. The relationships had to be built with different vendors for them to actually accept it for a form of, payment, right? Until they were accepted. So it took Bitcoin 8 years to get to where they are, at a price of whatever it is today, $7,500 a coin, whatever it is. Now, but it took them building all these relationships over 8 years.
Well, there's another factor. I think what you might be getting to is the fact that Bitcoin requires that you do this Bitcoin mining, and it uses electricity, uses computer power to do that mathematical processing to earn the Bitcoin at the very beginning, and then from there you can use the Bitcoin. A lot of people that I'm talking to lately are getting really pissed off, especially in Switzerland, Norway, Greenland. Some of these companies are gobbling up 50% of the electrical grid just to process Bitcoin. Right now, and people are getting ticked off. Nevada is talking about banning Bitcoin mining altogether. This could become a crime down there to do that because, again, the amount of power it gobbles up. It's fine that the money is going back into the grid.
In the U.S. about banning cryptocurrencies altogether.
Well, yeah, because again, it
doesn't surprise me because there's a lot of other.
It's never going to happen.
That's it.
That's never ever going to happen.
So what's the difference between that happening and yours happening? Like, where does the money come from to initiate?
Here's the cool thing that everybody's going to love to hear. Okay. We don't have to use mining rigs.
Okay.
We can do what we call staking, which is a different version of actual mining. I stake anywhere from 15 to 60, sometimes 75 pro currency a day. And it costs me nothing to do that. All I have to do is leave my computer on overnight. And it uses the same amount of electricity as it would anything else. There's no extra electricity that we use, just whatever it takes for it to be running 24 hours a day. I leave my computer running all the time. My bills have never changed.
But I'm going to be devil's advocate. Somebody will come up with the idea of using a mining rig to do the same thing, correct?
Listen, here's my opinion on mining rigs. First of all, I wouldn't go out and spend the money on mining rigs. At $4,500 a rig, to me, it takes too long to recover your earnings.
Okay.
That's my own personal opinion on it. I've been around. I know guys who run rig farms, stuff like that. It takes months and months and months.
Oh, it's someplace like in Greenland.
By the time, and if you ever do get your money back, then all of a sudden they got a new rig that's now mining more, and you have to go buy the new one.
Yeah, that's it.
Here's the thing that I want to share with you guys, and this goes back to when I bought Bitcoin at the price I did, and to what Bitcoin is now. For me personally, this is why I go with altcoins and I don't go with Bitcoin. I don't even collect Bitcoin anymore.
Okay.
I do a little bit, but not a whole lot. And the reason is because I look at what's going to happen. I mean, we're talking about pro currency who's sitting about 1.5 cents right now, ready to launch platforms that it has. In my personal opinion, I believe that our platforms, between the combination of them, we will have more vendors accepting pro currency than Bitcoin does have today.
Oh, for sure.
Now,
for sure.
That tells me a couple of things. That tells me that we're going to see a supply and demand and a usability factor kick in very, very quickly on this coin, causing it to become more valuable. We can't really speculate that.
There's a reason for that. Bitcoin started out as a grid computing environment, just like the one I programmed back in 2005, and it still exists today. It was meant to be, you process data, you earn Bitcoin, and then if you need data processed, you could use your Bitcoin to process data. It was never intended to go where it is today. It was never intended to do this. You guys are driven towards the market, the buying and selling of merchandise.
Yeah,
that's going to be a big difference.
The currency coin is designed. I mean, the whole purpose behind it is to become the coin for online e-commerce, so online shopping, whatever it is, the coin for that. So we're building an entire economy around that, and this is why I mine this stuff at the price that it is right now. Okay, I mine this stuff. So even if it's at 1.5 cents right now, I mine, anywhere from 45 to 75 of these coins a day. Now, when these platforms kick in and that coin goes to, say, $1, $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever it is, I'm still staking the same amount of coins every day.
Right.
Whereas, and that's because when you're staking, it's the amount of coins that you have in your particular wallet that allows you to stake more and more.
Right.
Like the bigger the volume you have, the more you stake. Now, it's easier to accumulate a large amount of volume coins.
So what you're trying to
1.5 cents than at $7,000, right?
But
This is
what
why-
y'all are trying to do is change consumer behavior. It's not going to work that easily.
Well,
I mean,
you know,
that would be like me as a U.S. citizen saying, okay, I'm going to do all my online transactions in Canadian dollars. And then once I've done with those transactions online in Canadian dollars, I'm going to go back to the bank and get it converted back to U.S. dollars so I can purchase stuff locally. It's never going to happen.
No, that's
well,
that's the
and this
worst
is
thing
where
to
I
do.
think you're wrong. And I'm going. If we go back to 1771, when the dollar bill was first created, everybody back then was
Gold.
bartering silver, gold, and
Mhm.
precious metals and all that kind of stuff, right? It took, now you can go and look in your history, it took 11 years before the dollar bill started to be accepted as regular currency.
Mhm.
So we're looking at a completely new age that nothing has ever been experienced in the last 200 years that what's about to happen here. And it's because we're in the digital age, and there's a lot of people not embracing the digital age today, right? And
I'm
that's
definitely
because
embracing the digital age, but I think that when you're talking about money and currency, people still are not going to go and exchange it just to purchase stuff online and then have to re-exchange it back in order to get it back into a currency that they can use locally. It
Well, no,
just
see,
doesn't make sense. It's not.
Hold on a second.
it's going to go a little bit different than that. You're going to
hold on a
find out that you'll be able to pay for anything
Yeah.
with that. It's not a matter of having to go and cash it out because we're moving to a digital age. Soon, you're not even going to see paper money that much. It's still going to exist, but you're not going to see it as much.
Let me cut in here. Myself, I'm seeing, for example, after looking at you guys, I'd be more than willing to sell my membership at this price, knowing that I can then go into a mall environment and purchase items using those same coins, never having to exchange them from one side to the other. So receiving $24.95, I know I'm going to have to sell 4 payments for an equivalent $100 item. Yeah, if we understand, turn around, take those coins and buy that $100 item. Let's say, I don't know, let's say it's a tripod, you know, and I know that there's a store in your market that, where's my camera, that has these, and I buy this at $100 equivalent with your coins. I'm not losing or gaining anything. The only thing I lost
No, I
was,
agree with that.
yeah, the only thing I
What
lost
I'm
was,
saying is, if I'm making all my money in their currency and I have to change it to go do something locally, it's a wash.
well, no, that,
Well, no, you don't. That's the point. Listen, let me try to make this real simple and easy, okay? 98% of the entire population today doesn't carry cash on them anymore.
I agree on
They
that.
use debit cards.
I agree.
That's what everybody uses. So what's going to end up happening in this digital age is everything's going to go to that thing. Right now, everybody uses their cell phones, okay? They have what they call QR codes, which is like a little square box that has, and you use that
Also, never got it. Even
all over the place.
no one's using QR codes nowadays.
Well, I don't know about down there, but up in Canada, everybody's using
here it's
everywhere.
Big. Yeah, here it's
You
big.
know, here in the States,
QR codes is the biggest thing today.
Yeah.
Here
right?
in the States, we tried pushing it years ago, and we still have them, but no one's really using them and their main reason, honestly, is because Android and Apple have never decided, hey, QR codes is going to be a thing. Let's include it with that app on every phone.
Yes, they do.
Installed automatically.
Yes, it does.
They're on every
Here in
phone.
the States, they don't.
Every phone today they're on.
No, they have you can install it on there, but it doesn't come pre-installed.
It's installed on mine. It is.
It's not pre-installed on any phone here you buy.
In Canada, it is. I turn on my camera.
Yeah, my new one had it.
I turn.
May I ask
Hold on,
a
guys.
question?
Hold on. One person at a time. I turn on my phone. I go to camera. I just go beep, and it says where do you want to go? The website, the phone number, or whatever it is. It's that simple.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing. When if I go in and I get download QR Droid, I can do the same thing here, but it's not by default accepted and adopted here really that well.
Yeah.
Not yet. I mean, you got to remember, we're only 2 years into the crypto age.
Yeah, that's right.
Really, 2 years in. We've got about 3 or 4 more years to go before this becomes a regularly accepted. It will replace fiat currency, not completely, but majority-wise. And mark my words on that.
Let's
I don't see that
I'm an
happening.
IT guy. I see what's happening here.
I don't see that happening.
That change happening.
Okay, let's get into our argument about cryptocurrency because nobody really knows whether it's going to be good or not. We don't know. Like you said, it's only been a few years. Nigel,
Currency, it's just not going to happen.
yeah, well, we can't say it's never going to happen. I never
We
say
know that U.S. government's not going to say we're going to trash the dollar and go to Bitcoin, or it's just not going to happen.
They're never going to trash the
They
dollar.
lose too much money and go bankrupt.
Fiat currency will never go away. It'll be here forever.
Okay, guys, hold on a sec. Nigel looks like he's ripping what's left of his hair out trying to get a word in.
Yeah, that would be a rather all-encompassing. We have the beginnings, you know, the seed is planted, 250,000 retail outlets in Japan accepting the currency, certain nations officiating it and so forth. This is cryptocurrency in general, not pro-currency. And indeed, with pro-currency, we speak of getting, you know, using it on a mall where there's up to 60% off of retail, up to 30% off of Amazon. That's attractive, but people can also flip it for other currencies. And sometimes the rule of thumb is to get a currency that's on appreciation, acceleration ride, when it is only, as Carl has said, 2.5 cents. I mean, even $100 worth of this at the moment is around 6,000 of these pro-currency reward points, which can be converted to cryptocurrency. They're given away free, you know, it's 100% rebate with whatever spend, $100 or otherwise. And we the more you look at this, you see why they're about to go through the roof. They only, you know, look at that.
Well, I like I said before, as a business owner or anybody getting on board, I think what you got to do. I did the same thing when I went to Mexico. I looked at how much I had in Mexico pesos, and I went, how much is that in pesos? And I converted to dollars, American dollars. I went, oh my God, you know, you got to be kidding. You can't really compare the currencies. It's actually a bad practice to do that when you go traveling to compare currencies. It was easier to go down, convert to pesos, and live in pesos. And then when you came back to the States, you go back to the dollar. You know, in business, and anybody who wants to get in, like say selling ebooks. Like for example, let's say Brianna wants to make an ebook on how to make games, and she says, I'm gonna accept pro currency. Then she has to understand that she's not getting no dollar value that she can use at her corner store yet, but she can go to Amazon and use it as a rebate, or she can come to Mardox and pay for a $24.95 a month membership with the same currency because I take it.
Or flip it to cash.
Or flip it to cash, yeah.
Okay. And this is about retail, sustainable retail usability, where this organization is going globally with the company acquisitions, the softwares, the gaming arena, the e-commerce, trillion-dollar industry, etc. I'm just thinking on those terms now, like the return at present is phenomenal. This is an early alert here, inside information on a low-priced reward point, which can be converted to currency, and not to mention all that can be made from the advanced e-commerce guidance and softwares for marketing on eBay, Shopify, Amazon. Those are the packages we sell. Again, not cryptocurrency, but where it is, what's going on here in the background, this allocation. Thanks for letting me say that.
I got a question. What happened to y'all's market there? Because in January, y'all were trading at 40 cents. Now you're at a penny.
Oh, so someone's doing the research.
I can comment on that if you want.
Go for it.
Okay.
You gotta understand. This group can be brutal.
That's probably the most brutal. To give you an idea of my background, I'm a former PhD in finance major. I'm also working on a doctorate in computer science and a doctorate in international business.
And Joshua, my background, I got 20 years of IT. Yeah. So I mean, I know trends. I know when they change, especially in the digital age. Okay. But here's what's happened. First of all, there was a lot of stuff was done on speculation last year. The company was new. They made
last year. That was in January.
Like our mall. You know, our mall was supposed to launch, and there was a delay in it. So when they heard the mall was launching, all of a sudden they had, call it pump and dump, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The hype was there that this thing was going to launch. So people were out buying the pro currency, with the intention for using it on the mall. And then the mall did not launch on time. There was some issues with it. We couldn't launch it. So what happened is there was a mass sell-off.
Hey, wait a minute, Josh, right? You weren't the ones creating that website?
It happens, technology is really finicky. Yeah. I've got the programming side, so I know what programming can do, and when it doesn't work, the devastation it can cause.
Oh yeah, right? I've seen it on my own website. Do one little change, and people go, they just suddenly don't log in anymore.
It happens, right?
It's terrible. So, yeah.
And we won't launch a subpar quality product.
Right.
We just don't do that. We would sooner wait and do that. So this is what's caused it to drop, because what happened is that people lost faith in it, and it causes that to happen. Then on the other hand, you have the traders online who are constantly buying and selling it, which doesn't help its growth either, right? So you're going to get that part there. Now, the coin will go up. It'll inevitably go up once the actual platforms are in place that are accepting it for a currency, that are going to be accepting it for a form of payment. That's going to change things. That will cause supply and demand to go up, cause the coin. Now, whatever it goes to, who knows? You know, anybody can just speculate what it could go to. Just in my personal experience with the crypto in the last 2 years, I watched how Ethereum went from, I think it was like 68 cents to $1.60 or something. And then they signed a major contract with Steam, which is an online gaming system.
Right.
And it caused that currency to jackpot all the way up to $400 a coin. And this happened in a matter of, I think it was 48, 72 hours. That happened.
That was in the news.
Anytime a
We
major
saw
acquisition happens, right, then that happens. Litecoin had a similar thing going. I forget the company that they did that with, but theirs was similar. They went from pennies all the way up to like $120, right? It happened very, very quickly. So you're going to see that kind of stuff happen as there's more demand that's in place for a currency. The higher the value of that currency is going to be.
Yeah, but anytime I'm looking at currency markets or stock markets or anything else, I'm looking for a trend that's on the upward trend, not the downward trend. So I looked at the 7-day forecast. Y'all have lost 25% market share in the last 7 days.
Well, anybody who's in crypto is losing right now.
No kidding.
And that's because this is a very, very volatile market.
Yeah,
it hasn't had time to stabilize yet. And it'll probably be 2 years still until it's stabilized.
What we need to see is get the people to stop buying in bulk. Like everyone says Bitcoin's going to disappear. I don't think Bitcoin's going to disappear, but what happened was a bunch of people came in and bought tons and tons and tons of this coin. It caused the value to climb, and then they went, this doesn't really go anywhere. No one's buying this, and they sold it, and that's why it plummeted. And
the main reason is
there's a little bit more to that too.
The biggest reason on cryptocurrency's failure is because people are having to exchange it for real dollars in order to go buy something. And so they're having to pull it out of the market, which is what crashes the currency valuation anyways.
It does.
And that's the whole purpose of the crash is caused by. So when I hear people saying, well, let's invest in cryptocurrency, that's great. But if they can't buy it, they got to change it back to cash. And the second they do, it just crashes the currency.
Okay. Well, we could say the same as precious metals too. You can say the same for gold.
But precious metals is being held on to longer, which is the reason its value keeps going up.
Right.
But if there wasn't a sell-off, then yes, the precious metal value would drop. I agree.
Well, let's look at Bitcoin right now. What has happened with Bitcoin just in the last 3 months? Okay, that's what's happened. A lot of people have sold it off, and then what they've done now is nobody is actually those that have it now are not doing anything with it. They're holding it. So when they're holding and not spending, there's no way for that value to increase because there's nothing there to cause buying power.
Yeah, because they're holding on to what
value. It'll just stay where it is.
Because they basically bought all this stuff. The value dropped. Now they're holding on to it and going, well, no, I'm going to wait till the value goes back up.
The value goes back up. Yeah.
There's a lot of that, and that's what's happening. Most people today, right now, are holding their coin. They're not selling their Bitcoin. And here's the other thing. There's 21 million of these coins that are available, Bitcoin, okay? Of which almost 17 million are now in distribution. Mm-hmm. But what the general public doesn't know is there's almost 8 million of them that are non-retrievable. They've been lost and can't be retrieved. So there's actually not 17 million in circulation. There's about 8.5 million.
Yeah, because it's like myself. I opened a wallet. I have Bitcoin. I had 3 Bitcoin in there, and then that wallet got lost. I have no way of retrieving that code.
And that's right. And then it's gone forever.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if we looked at a value here, if we were going to say, okay, let's value Bitcoin on its distribution value of what's available, this is a coin that should be $100,000 a coin.
Y'all have 97 million in circulation with a supply of 15 billion.
Well, 15 billion with pro currency.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
And
here's the thing.
97
But you got to
million
think back in 2009 when they first came out with that, 21 million coins was a lot of coins.
Yeah, but at 1 cent per coin, we're looking at less than $1 million of holdings totaled in pro currency.
Yeah, but and now you're see, this is the problem with most people in this marketplace. They're valuing the coin based on that. I value the coin. I value pro currency, knowing on what I know is coming, as a $100, $200, $300, $400 coin. I don't value it at 1 cent.
Hey, we're getting a.
That's just what it is. That's just what it's showing.
Market speculators. If they're interested in speculating in the markets, then that's what you base it on.
Well,
let me
exactly. But you see, this is where my experience in the past, I will override any of those guys with that, knowing that what I had and what it is today. Because the problem is today, there's no usability on pro currency at this time. None. That's why it's at 1.5 cents or whatever it is. If you go look on the currency.
1.5759.
Yeah. So there's no usability yet on that coin, which means there's going to be no supply and demand, which means that it's not going to go anywhere. It's just sitting there.
I agree.
The moment supply and demand kicks in and the usability kicks in, that's when the currency will rise.
If it's adopted, yes.
Yeah,
And as soon as that's why I'm saying in 6-8 weeks from now, like in Vegas, we have our big launch event, which is we're going to be launching a lot of our platforms May 31st to June 3rd. Okay.
I'm going to be right in the middle of pool repairs. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. So that's when we're going to be launching those. And then in the next 2 months after that is when you're going to start to see actual movement of that coin value. Okay. Nothing's going to happen with that coin value until that is, because right now there's nothing for anybody to speculate on with pro currency, because there's nothing there.
Right.
See, with Bitcoin, there is stuff there. But what we have with Bitcoin is we got people scared to death about selling it, right?
Yeah, because they just lost something. They just lost half the value, so they're trying.
They just lost a lot, and then you got others going, well, you know what? Because it's going up and down so much, I'm going to wait until it drops more to buy it. So you see Bitcoin jumping between $6,500 and $7,500. It's going like this, and it has not $100 drops. It's got $500, $700 drops. Mm-hmm. Like it's got massive plummets in between.
Yeah, if it was a corporation valued on the stock market, the owners of the corporation would be crapping themselves.
Oh, exactly.
But the other problem I see with stuff like, this one here, though, is they have to be a member of your group, right, in order to get the currency?
No, you can go to any exchange and buy pro currency.
Okay.
There's 8 exchanges, 9 soon. They'll be going on to hit BTC mid-May, which is one of the biggest exchanges out there. So there in middle of May.
So that kind of goes to the next question. One of our members is asking, does your pro currency also work with a blockchain?
Yes.
Okay. And that's a big deal.
Actually, all coins work on the blockchain. It's piggybacking on the actual blockchain itself. It's not, you'll have other coins like Ethereum will have their own blockchain. Some of these other coins will have their own. I expect pro currency will have their own too once the acceptability starts coming in. It takes a while for these coins to get their own blockchain.
Go ahead, James. Nigel,
yeah.
James. Nigel, your name is James from now on. Okay, just make it simple.
Okay.
Just go with it.
I see your phone popping up, Nelson, which reminds me about a free app we're handing out all over the world.
Say it again. I missed what you said.
I say your phone pops up. You're just demonstrating your phone and you're taking some questions.
Yeah, because I'm reading stuff off Twitch, off Skype, off of other. Yeah.
You reminded me of our phone app. You might want to comment on that sustainable retail usability aspect for the pro currency, the free app. Carl, I don't think we covered that.
Yeah, we have right now. When the company first launched, it launched a internet or a US only app. Okay, so there's 4,500 box brand stores that are on there. Macy's, all the top name brands are on there, where they giving cashback rewards in pro currency. So whenever you went on there and bought something with your credit card or whatever from any one of these vendors, you would get back pro currency cash rewards rather than cashback, like regular fiat cash. They would give pro currency back. you know, and recently the most recent one to join us is Amazon. So you can actually, using our app only, you can't just go to Amazon, you got to go through our app and select Amazon and go on there. You'll get coin Pro Rewards coin cashbacks with them. So you know, that's been in place for quite some time. Anybody can go and download that app. They do not have to be a member of us. They can go on there, use the app, and get Pro Rewards back. They get their wallet, they get all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so the membership part is just if I want to get my product sold visible to others, correct?
Yeah, there's a $50 a year membership. It's like a Costco membership, right? So, you know, in order to use our mall, because our mall is exclusive,
To
right?
members, yeah.
In order to use our mall, you would have to have the $50 yearly membership, and then you can go on shop to your heart's desire on there, right? You don't have to build the business. You don't have to do anything like that. We have many different areas that people can use our platform. They don't have to come on to be a member or to actually build the business, be an affiliate or anything. That's an alternative option. But because our platforms are exclusive, right? Some of our platforms, you have to be a member to do that. Our Edge Club that's coming out, you won't have to be a member. That'll be open to anybody. You can download the app.
I got a little question.
Anybody that's on there and use the Pro currency to go in and buy products.
I got a question in terms of your mall. If at Mardox, because Mardox, we like to put everything built right into Mardox. Is there a way that we could grab a list of your current people who are selling their product or service for your mall and be able to display them on inside the website at Mardox? Such as, for example, can we download an RDF, a raw data format?
That I don't know. You would have to go through our head office for that to find out what they do with that.
Okay. Because like right now, I'm dealing with Amazon.
That's a good question. I just don't have the answer.
I'm dealing with Amazon right now. We're embedding the Amazon products right into Mardox. And what we're going to be doing is doing reviews on products like we do every day.
Sure.
Like you know, like I bought the tripod, and after I buy it, I'm going to review it. And when I review it, I'm going to put a video up. There's going to be a blog post and a link back to buy that tripod if you want.
Sure.
So there's a lot of people have done that, but we've gone ahead and put a lot more of the content in. And I told Amazon, I want the stuff that's 4 and 5 star rated first. Yep. And overnight, they went in and went, done.
Yep.
Especially when they
and that's kind of like the training that we do, where you can build your own store. You can take products from Amazon or whatever and integrate them into our system and stuff. Actually, it's not through Amazon. It'd be the same product that Amazon has, but through a different.
Right. Gotcha.
So, but I understand what you're doing. I don't have the answer for that question, unfortunately.
No problems. Oh, a second. Brianna. Okay, it's not what I. Oh, okay, no problem. Okay. Well, Brianna, if you don't want to stick around, you're not stuck watching. You can do what you want. Just no big deal there. I don't have any other questions. I was hoping to have more people asking more questions because the other day we had a lot of Bitcoin questions and it was like everybody flocked and said, "Oh, what about this and what about that?" And we had to explain a whole bunch of stuff.
Nelson?
Yeah.
Question for either Carl or Nigel. You mentioned before about cannabis and e-games. That includes like games in Vegas and stuff like that?
I don't have the full details on that right yet. We're going to find out all of that when they launch it out in Vegas. They're keeping that pretty quiet. I just know a little bit about it. I just don't know the full details of what the platform is. Right. Okay,
but it brings me to, let's say, escorts, porn sites, or even real porn. You don't deal in that, do you?
No. Because, we've got some ethics.
Just some.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad.
Now you're saying they got to change the currency just to get their porn now? Jeez.
Yeah, that's it, you know.
It's a nightmare for these people.
Joshua, I really appreciate all that input, by the way. You know, I take no offense to anything that you're asking because they're all legitimate stuff. Yeah. So, I really appreciate that.
Well, a lot of people come and watch us on this show. It's incredible because right now I'm looking at it says on Twitch 10 people, 11 people. But when I look at the syndication panel, get a load of this, 319 people watching right now, not to mention us here. And so there's a lot of people that will come in and watch because they want to find out what's going on with a product or a service, you know. And I'm getting a lot of feedback as to they love the fact that there's no bullshit. You know, we'll ask the question, and we have flat out told somebody your service sucks, it's crap, and I've warned people, if you're gonna come on, be warned, we can be brutal, you know, and our members, our viewers like that because they know I'm not getting paid to do this show, you know, and they love it. You know, it's an unbiased view. We've had people leave the show crying. Literally.
I'm very transparent. I mean, look, you know, you have to be in this industry. I mean, there's going to be stuff that people don't like. I mean, look at with Joshua and I mean, we have our own ideas on cryptocurrency and stuff like that. And neither one of us is wrong, right? So, because there are different things. There's a lot of, he's giving a financial view of it. And I get that because there's a lot of people don't look at that financial view. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm looking at the crypto from experience of what I've seen and what I've followed for the last 2 years, which is kind of a little bit different than what some people in the financial sector might be following. They'll be following more. They're more analytical to it.
Like when I talk to people right now in the financial industry, financial analysts and people at the bank level, I say, "What do you think about Bitcoin?" I can't even finish saying Bitcoin, and they're like, "No." And they don't have nothing to do with it. They won't even talk about it. They won't suggest on it. You know, it's really strange when you see a financial analyst. You
mentioned that. I mean, look at Mark Cuban. Okay, Mark Cuban trashed Bitcoin for the last 2 years, and now all of a sudden he's accepting it for the Mavericks and everything else. Now he's finally realized that, you know what, there is some value here. Yeah. Right. And there's a lot of people that would have trashed it because they didn't understand everything. Yeah. And Mark Cuban's a pretty analytical guy.
That's right. That's right.
And he just finally figured out that, you know what, there is value here. So it's going to take people a while. I mean, we don't expect to change everybody's, you know, views on cryptocurrency. But let's face it, we're in the digital age, and this is a new digital revolution coming in as far as finance. And it's something that is going to happen. It'll never replace fiat, but it could take the upper part of that, putting fiat down at the bottom and that at the top. Again, we all use cards. Eventually they'll be on cards.
If we go back a year ago, my dad, who happens to be Danny here beside me, my dad a year ago, if you said cryptocurrency, he would have said, "Oh, no, I'm not into those scams and that's a bunch of crap." Now he's asking questions about it, which I find really interesting. I'm not saying he's going to get into it, but he's asking questions. And that's what's interesting.
I have a question for Carl.
Sure.
Have you seen another organization or system similar to yours in the past on which you're basing yours?
None. We have zero competitors into what we've built. Okay.
No, I'm talking about your past experience. You must have seen something happen somewhere to give you the idea to develop this.
Well, I didn't develop this. I'm just an affiliate in the company, right? So just the platform itself. There's been a lot of platforms in the industry that have come out, but nothing as intricate as this, right? This is like, I've never ever experienced in all of my years in this industry, I've never seen a company put together something as viable as this.
Building an economy around the currency.
They're actually building something around a currency. They're here to create an actual valued currency, right? No one out there has actually done it. See, if Bitcoin, if someone, whatever, Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever the person is that invented Bitcoin, nobody will ever know, right? But if the person who invented that went out and built something like what we've built, I think we would see Bitcoin way more valuable today and way more used.
Yeah, and that's what
it's never done. It was just people at whim taking a risk on it without building any kind of relationship.
CN and PC Rail, and this is a little story, a little bit offshoot. The companies who built the railroads, when they created their corporate name, their corporate entity, and a description of what they do as their product, they labeled themselves as building railroads, not as product transportation.
Yeah.
You see the problem? So when you look for product transportation, you're not looking for a company who builds railroads. They just happen to build the railroad to do the transportation. They did a big fault. Bitcoin did the same thing. They should have said, we can get the currency going in all these different stores. If they did it back then in 2009, it would be today where you guys want to be in 7 years.
Exactly. You know? See, what we've basically, what we've done with iPro Network is we've jumped about 5 years ahead of where Bitcoin started.
Yeah. So basically, what my dad is asking, Bitcoin would be the company that you guys looked at, and you want to be better than that.
Well, yeah, of course.
That's it.
I mean, Bitcoin is always going to be the model in cryptocurrency where everybody is going to look at to see how could they have improved that and made it better off the start. And that's exactly what this company did. They looked at what Bitcoin's track record was on how it got to where it was today, and then developed this economy, choosing one particular cryptocurrency. We could have chosen anything. We could have chosen Bitcoin. We could have chosen Litecoin or Ethereum, but they chose this one here, right? Because the whole idea behind ProCurrency, and if you go and read the white papers, it's all about creating online e-commerce, making it the online e-commerce coin. Now, if Bitcoin did that out the gate, again, we'd see something totally different today.
Yeah, we would have.
But also, you have to understand that technology has changed a lot in 8 years as well. I had a Ledger wallet. Now, this thing was the most unstable thing you could ever have. If you typed in your password wrong and you had coins in there, that's it.
You lost it.
There's no way to retrieve it. Today, at least they give you these backup words and stuff like that. You can go in to recover your wallet.
Yeah.
Back then, you couldn't. You misspelled it, you did it, that's it. And that's why over 8 million have been lost.
Yeah, it's like opening up your wallet upside down over a sewage drain.
Kind of, yeah, exactly.
It's gone.
You gotta understand the technology is getting better and better and better. The blockchain is getting better and better and better. In 2 or 3 years from now, you're gonna see, plastic debit cards that are gonna be coin driven by many different coins out there. Just like we would go and pay for, using our debit card at the local store, coming out with fiat money coming out of our bank account in digital form. The same thing will happen with crypto. It's coming. I've already seen it.
Yeah.
We're already in development of our own cards.
That's it.
That's a good point, Carl, because if you remember when they first brought out debit cards, people say, yeah, well, what about this and that? They were afraid of losing their money and so on and so forth. But I find that talking to people, they're very ignorant about cryptocurrency because it's virtual. They don't see it.
Yep. Well, it's the same thing with credit cards. You look at credit cards today, way back when you had to put them in that machine, go, right, on the papers, and that's how it was. I mean, today it's just flat.
Hold on now. No false advertising. It's more of a shook sound, okay?
No, but what I'm getting at is, do you have a plan to educate the public?
Yep.
To get that fear away from them because they can't see it. It's virtual.
Well, here's the other thing that I see actually happening, and a lot of people don't think that. Everybody's thinking that the banks are so dead against crypto. The banks are not dead against it. They're upset because they can't figure out how to profit from it yet. So in the coming years, you will find banking institutions will be accepting cryptocurrency. They just have to find a way how to profit from it. They haven't figured that out yet because they're still trying to put all of this technology together. It's going to be there. You're going to find governments are going to love this thing. There's countries actually creating their own coins right now because they're slowly starting to figure out how to use it. It's just once the governments and once the banks can figure out how they can play nice with everybody, with crypto, it's going to be fully accepted everywhere. It's just right now, banks are losing money because people are using less of their credit cards now and buy less loans because they're putting their money into this cryptocurrency because the fees are so bloody small. I mean, on a credit card, we pay what, 27%? Is that what it is annually or something like that?
It's outrageous, yeah.
Okay, so in crypto, you're paying 1 to 2%.
Yeah, annually.
Okay?
Yeah.
Through exchanges,
Yeah.
and annually, right? ProCurrency, ours is going to be even cheaper than that. We have our own. We've just launched our own merchanting service called ProcPay. It's going to be 1/100th of what blockchain charges for Bitcoin transactions.
There you go.
You see, and it's just a matter of time until the banks figure out, well, you know what? If we start holding crypto and we start doing that, we can still make money off that. and they could actually make a lot more money that way there if they change their percentages.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're going to get the higher your percentages, the less you're going to have of users using credit cards. Same thing with bank accounts. So they have to figure out how they can get the masses coming in and still be able to charge a smaller percentage and still make a gross profit.
So
Right?
who's going to be the insurance company behind that? Because right now we got the FDIC for the financial.
Somebody's going to figure it out. Okay? There's somebody out there. There's analytical guys like you. There's somebody sitting, all
But
day long trying to figure it out.
The only problem is that in America there is so many regulations that almost prevent cryptocurrency from ever coming alive.
That's because they can't figure out how to make money from it.
No,
The
it's
bank-
because they're basically throwing people in jail that try to do anything with it.
Same
They're
thing.
doing, and that's not even legal, in my opinion, because
welcome
you're
to
taking
America,
away,
man.
you're taking away the rights and freedom rights of people to
I
do
agree.
that, just
Well-
because you can't figure out how to profit off them. It's just like the taxation system.
That's exactly what America does. I mean, so
China-
It's not just America, it's everybody.
let's get straight. Even China's into cryptocurrency. It says
Every-
it
you
says
kind of banned it.
well, no.
They did
No,
recently.
China, no.
They banned
Hold on. No. They banned all currencies except theirs.
Yeah.
That's why.
You see, the only way you can shut down crypto is by shutting down the internet, and that's never going to
Well, that's what worries me is if there's I was here during the power outage of 89 and 97 when we had the ice storms and everything went out. There was no power, no. I know what it's like after a week, and you start hearing about people starting to loiter and plumage anything that's food and water in Montreal. And that was 5 to 7 days in. There was no internet, there was no electricity, no phone, barely any radio for like a week here. And when I was a kid,
That could happen if we didn't have crypto, because everybody is reliant on the digital age. Right?
That's what worries me about the cryptocurrency part is if the electricity. Let's say we get a solar flare, and 2.5 years ago, there was a solar flare that left the sun at a 45-degree angle to our planet. Very rarely talked about. It was so powerful. It affected the satellites in orbit. Meanwhile, it was at a 45-degree relative to us and the sun. It was that far away. It was between the 90-degree point, like almost a whole one of our seasons distance away, and it still affected our satellites. If that solar storm would have hit our planet dead on, okay, granted, that one would have stripped away our atmosphere, okay? But if a magnetic field hits that bad, it could wipe out all electrical systems in the planet, not just...
And this is why fiat currency will never go away.
Yeah, so there might
It'll never, ever be eliminated.
Gold and silver
I don't
might
care
be
what
good.
anybody says.
Yeah.
We will have that because that'll be, in that particular case, that's our only barter, unless you have precious metals and stuff like that.
Yeah, going back to gold and silver.
Again, it comes down to food. I mean, we go back to the Ice Age or something like that.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
everything changes at that point. But, this is why we have what they call hard wallets, okay? Or paper.
What is that exactly? I've heard of that.
A hard wallet is like it. I don't have one myself, but it's like half the size of a cell phone, right? It's about an inch thick, and what you do is you download all of your crypto onto it, and you hold it on here. So if the internet ever goes down, it's stored here. That's your bank, right here.
Okay, so it stores your
So you store it here, and then when it all comes back, you just restore it back.
right.
Boom.
It stores your
There.
code. It stores
It's
your
a storage.
It stores
Yeah,
your wallet ID.
it's highly encrypted, right?
Yeah. Gotcha.
So, that's what people get, right? And they have paper versions of that. I wouldn't get that. I would get the hard wallet, right?
I gotta get into more, but I do want to look more into your guys' program. I mean, that's the whole reason why we're talking about this today.
Okay.
Well, the packages right now are between
Of course.
$100 and then $500, $2,000 e-commerce package, or $3,000, and there's a $6,000 package.
Yeah.
Earning
They go all the way
right
up to $10,000. I mean,
that 6K is returning 375,000 pro reward points, which
Okay, so that's
you've lost nothing if they don't go there. But it's looking like going through the roof.
so
Sorry.
that's going along the lines of buying one of those packages. You get promoted, but that's to invest the money into the program so you can give the rewards back to the other person buying your product, right?
100% free reward back.
yeah, it's a free gift. Is
You
what it is.
let it go through the roof and convert it to precious metals for the sunstorm.
Yeah. That's it.
I mean, you know, and it's education. Education today, we know, is not cheap in anything, right? You know, it's not cheap to
They
get
basically want everything to go full with instead of fixed with. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is. And I mean, our education that we have is actually a lot cheaper than what a lot of the bigger professionals out there are selling in the e-commerce
I'm trying to
industry.
find a lookbook.
Rempel's
So
software, education. What is the $5,000 package is going out for 2 through us? Is that kind of the
yeah.
ratio?
And the other thing is, you know, we have a live boot camp, which is live trainers that come in and train every week on building stores. And outside our company, it's a $5,000 to $10,000 training boot camp, where with ours we throw it in for free.
Well,
So we have high end value.
before I get involved in this, if we do you guys have some sort of video where I can put into my website where my members can go and look an introductory video as to how it works without getting too not into a 1 hour scenario? Because like my real
We could give you a 25-minute video that explains everything, pretty much.
where I can upload. I host the whole thing again. You know, it's all on our servers. But I would love to get our members involved in something like this, you know, because everyone right now is...
Nigel will give you his link. There's like 4 videos on there that range from, well, 3 videos range from 8 minutes to 45 minutes. So
You already have that, Nelson, in Skype.
Oh,
for you to go over that before releasing a general link.
Yeah. I got some more stuff that we got to talk about. It's not going to be overnight. I'm too tied up in other stuff right now.
We won't give out a link here and now, right?
Well, we can if you want. I got no problem with that.
You might be on board and wanting to coordinate people through your own link, in all fairness.
Oh, okay.
And
That's up to you.
On that, good one. Settling
one last thing I want to share with you too is
people's minds.
Hold on, guys. One at a time.
Sorry, Carl. And yes, Carl, I wanted to appeal to you. In terms of settling people's minds and the genre in general, the e-commerce seems, particularly the cryptocurrency, as Gani was suggesting, the people assimilating, orientating. We have the Zoom calls. Carl, you want to go with that?
Well, yeah, there's a lot that we do. You know, I do 3 trainings a week that are live on Zoom. That I do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I'm connected all the way to the president of the company in here. I'm a very, very experienced marketer, and I'm very, very particular about when I get involved with businesses. I want to know exactly who I'm dealing with, right? So I've met each primary member or person in the hierarchy in the company, the president, vice president, lawyer. I've met everybody, the trainers, everybody. I even have my personal support person in the company. So I make sure I'm well connected with all the right people. You know, my circle of influence are 6, 7, and 8-figure earners. I don't allow myself to be mentored by anybody that makes less than $100,000 a year, right? Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So you know, the bigger or the more powerful your influence is, the more powerful you become.
So coming through Mardocs will equate to really rather full-on support.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, we don't put anything on our site that we don't authorize or okay.
No.
And like
And
I said, we have reviewed products and talked about it, and I've had people come back and say, "I'm suing you for slander." And I tell a lawyer after a lawyer contacts me with a letter, and I say, "Look at the video. Where is their slander? Their product just sucks. You know, they can't answer the questions. They can't back up their explanations. Like, you did a really good job with Josh when Josh brought that stuff up. It was you had the answers, you know. And there's key things that I'm looking for, and so is my father looking for it, and Josh is looking for certain answers, you know. So
and I'm not even one of the ones that can even answer probably all the questions. There's others that I can get. Like, you know, my particular sponsor is, you know, he's the top earner in the company. You know, he's done cash to bank $2.5 million in the last 16 months. Right. And that's because of the valued products that we have. Our products are making people a lot of money. Ones that are not just selling them, but ones that are going out and creating stores and creating revenue from the actual products that we have and actually dealing with that. I mean, e-commerce today, if you look at, especially in our industry, all of the top earners that you see online today, the 6, 7, 8-figure, 9-figure earners today, they're all in e-commerce. Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Anthony Morrison.
I haven't heard from Tony
I
Robbins
could,
in ages.
the list could go on. I could give you a massive list. And all of these guys make their money through e-commerce.
Anthony Robbins is involved in this, or?
Well, no, not involved in this. I'm just saying this is how he makes his money online, is through e-commerce. He sells online courses.
Yeah, because
right?
I haven't heard that name in ages.
Yeah, well, again, these are guys who make their money in e-commerce. That's where money is today. That's why it's $1 billion industry.
Right.
Right. It's not network marketing in general. It's the niche within it that you tap into. Right. I mean, I've done every niche that you can possibly think of in 37 years. Right. And the one that I've been most profitable from is e-commerce.
Yeah. No, well, like you said, everybody wants to buy. I mean, we're not stupid. I mean, we're getting to e-commerce too. Again, I'm going to go back to ebooks and videos, and I'm going to talk about products and what people want to know what a GPU is. I'm going to do a review on a GPU. I'm going to explain what GPUs are, and in the bottom of the video, there's going to be links to go buy your GPU. That's it. We're not stupid. It's just I don't want to focus my entire life on retail. I'll leave that up to Amazon. I'll do my part and continue on to the next thing. Amazon's got a great product base.
It's perfect for someone like yourself to go and do reviews. I mean, you'll be doing reviews for the next 100 years.
Oh yeah, I bought this tripod through them. There is a problem with it. I contacted Amazon. I said there's a problem. Instant refunded.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for the product to be shipped back. It was just instantly refunded. Now it's not a big deal. It's this handle here. I had to adapt on the up and down part. I had to adapt it a little bit. By a little bit of grinding, because it didn't go in far enough to lock. So if you're using it, even though you tighten it down, it doesn't lock. And
that's mass production. Some things are just not going to work.
That's it. But Amazon, instant, your money's back, no questions asked, no dispute. And so I contacted. And I said, well, where do I mail this to? They said, no, you keep it. It's yours. It's like,
there you go.
It blew my mind. It's like, wow, because they would rather lose the money on this one sale and have me come back and buy more. Now, granted, they didn't give me the cash. It was added to my account, which I could use.
Yeah, credited.
So they didn't lose anything as such.
The same thing.
But I came back and bought something else, which was a $250 microphone. So they still made money on the microphone.
Well, sure.
That's it. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
I gotta do a few things, guys, and then after we close the show, you can stay in. We do a little bit of chatting after the show. It's called the after chat. And it's not recorded, that part. I just got to do a part here just to explain to our members what's going on with a couple things. For those of you watching, and there we go, the show's over, eh, Josh? Is that what you're saying? For those of you watching, Mardox.com is doing some changes. As we said, we're integrating Amazon.com into the Mardox experience. On our front page, we've turned the main Mardox page back to being a search engine. By the end of today, when everything's done, you're still going to be able to do a search. The Amazon preferred products are going to show up. When you log in, you're still going to see the same back-end Mardox login site over there. So it's not that Mardox has been sold or anything. We're just doing some changes to the front page. I think it looks better now instead of having the boxes all askew. Second good piece of good news is we are now Twitch affiliates, which means that in the Twitch channel, if you look at the top right-hand corner of the video, there's not just a follow button, but there's also a sub button, which means you can subscribe to our channel. And there's going to be benefits for people who subscribe to our channel. Don't know what they're going to be yet, but in the upcoming week, we're going to talk about what the benefits are there. There is the $4.99, the $9.99, and $24.99 sub packages. There is talk, we'll know more next week, but there's talk about if somebody subs at $24.99 per month, your Mardox membership is also paid for. So we're going to work on trying to integrate Twitch and Mardox together so that works. So stay tuned for that. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, when we're talking about Mardox, so there's 150 followers now on Twitch, so obviously not all of you are from Mardox. We run a membership-based website at mardox.com. It is a resource based website with videos, training, and reviews. And like we said in the video here in this webinar, we actually do review and bring people on that want to talk about their product and service, so that you get an idea as to what's out there and what's legit and what's not. You know, bypass all that crap that you keep hitting the wall with. You know, that junk promotional stuff that you see that leads to nothing. You know, so bypass all that and focus on the ones that we focus on, and hopefully you can save yourself some time. With that said, if you're on YouTube watching this, please subscribe, like, and comment, and leave your comments. We do want to know what you want us to talk about. Maybe you have a product or service you want us to review and bring you on the show and you can talk about. If you're on Twitch, at least follow us. If not, sub to us. With that said, we're here Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific Time, and if you're in the European area, we go based on 9 p.m. Berlin time. So we'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to say bye to the gang.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye
Yeah,
to
thanks,
the
everyone.
gang.
Bye to the gang.